how to speak such that people actually listen. Here's 3 steps to make sure people are listening when you speak. You're grabbing their attention and they're listening throughout. Tip number 1 is make sure you're structured when speaking. So for instance, even in this video, I want to be making sure I'm making key points so the person following knows exactly where they are. This is known as signposting. A simple way to do this is just to say point number 1. Then when you're done, point number 2. Then when you're done, point number 3, and then you can conclude. Introduction, conclusion, points 1 to 3 or 1 to 5. You don't want to be making more than 5 points ideally, because that's too much content and most people's attention span doesn't last that long and they won't be able to retain all the knowledge you're trying to convey. Point number 2, to make sure people are listening and focusing on you and you're keeping their attention, is to interact with them. It's not sufficient to make sure you're just conveying knowledge, just dispensing information. You want to keep them engaged. So there's several ways you can do this. You can ask your audience questions. Ask them open-ended questions. Ask them thought-provoking questions that maybe challenge their ideas or presuppositions. You may actually also come up with interesting or nuanced or strange facts or studies or data that will challenge their notions, something which might come across as strange or with a shock factor. That keeps someone engaged rather than dull, uninteresting facts or statistics. Have a little bit of a shock factor, but don't compromise on your message. Don't come across as some tabloid newspaper giving crazy information which is not true. Point number 3, to make sure you're keeping people engaged and memorable, is begin and end on a high note. Beginning your speech or conversation, make sure you grab their attention. A hook, they call it, to grab someone's attention, to keep their focus. That's what latches them in. It's a hook, just like when you're fishing. You want to hook your bait. In this case, hooking your audience. And lastly, you want to end. Now, you don't want to end necessarily on a cliffhanger, because maybe you just want to conclude your speech. There's nothing more to add. But instead of a cliffhanger, you want to make sure you end on a memorable note. Conclude with maybe a story, something which is profound, something which they will remember, which summarizes everything you've talked about, mentioning again the key points. So it's incumbent, before you make a prominent speech, you focus on these 3 areas, making sure you're preparing what questions you're going to ask, maybe certain facts or statistics that will keep people engaged. Making sure you're signposting throughout your speech. What is point number 1, 2, and 3? And lastly, open with a powerful hook and end with a powerful point that makes you memorable.